Groom and Rage is an absolutely boring walking simulator of a teenage lesbian fanfic that has no real gameplay besides putting the camera in people's faces and holding the angle on them for an awkwardly long time. I played the game for about 20 minutes and got so bored that I decided to see if I was alone in thinking that this game was horrible dog shit. I only found one post complaining about how the game sexualizes the main characters, who are 4 16-year-old girls, and this Redditor has a Reddit meltdown moment and says, actually, hitting this game makes you fatphobic, homophobic, and squishy. The story revolves around fatphobia, homophobia, racism, domestic violence. Sign me up, because after sitting through this game, I not only agree with everything the original poster said, but I think they actually don't cover even half of what makes this game bad.
Babe, are my boobs tanning evenly?
Really? I thought your business was sucking dick.
Man, I swear. Also, it had like this massive boner.
Speaking of degenerate shit, Swan, the main character, who is a self-insert of the average art student, a 16-year-old girl who just can't, for 1 minute, act like a normal person.
Meowdy.
Swan is such a horrible human being with zero social skills and runs around recording everything with and without a pulse. When I first started to play this game, I was actually having fun with the idea that Swan is just a maniac of a person who can't help but film everyone.
Think I could be a movie star?
Seriously? Why would anyone want to film me?
You look cool on camera. Really?
But after just a short while, I started to notice a few things.
What did you notice? Yeah, what did you notice? Come on, tell me, what did you see?
What did I notice? I noticed that the writers of this game actually want to see a group of young girls discuss weird shit for 6 hours and call it a game.
What about music?
I'd have to see how you look in a comb bra.
Makes sense why Reddit loves this game. You call it pervert dialogue. I call it normal teenager talk. I don't really understand how you missed that. Teenagers talk about sex at this age. No shit. But the point is, why did a group of adults gather around a table and say, yeah, this is good dialogue that we're gonna make a game that's rated M for mature that we're going to be selling to adults?
Ever got some freaky shit on tape? Tell us.
I filmed a used condom once.
I'm not saying that young girls don't have inappropriate conversations, but here's the thing, that you, yes, you, need to understand. This is a video game made by adults. A development team of grown adults sat down in a room and made this.
Babe, are my boobs tanning evenly? You can straddle my hog anytime, baby.
If that doesn't make you even the slightest bit uncomfortable, you probably look like this guy's Reddit avatar. Listen, people. Corporate says we can't sell a game about girls discussing what they look like in different underwear to underage girls.
Why not?
That's preposterous. Preposterous, I know. But listen, we need some ideas on the board because we gotta get the grooming started. We gotta get the grooming started. We need the grooming. Look, let's just make it M for mature so that we can say that this game isn't meant to be played by kids. And after we don't sell any copies, we can just release the game for free to PlayStation Plus users so that anyone can play it without restriction. Absolutely genius.
I don't like restrictions.
That's it. Ship it. Let's go. We're going gold. Everything about this game makes it look like it's a game for teenage girls. From the marketing, to the promotional posters, to the actual gameplay itself, it looks super innocent from a distance. But once you actually start to analyze it, you realize that this is kind of fucking weird, I have to say. Why do I need to record graffiti of cocks while playing as a teenage girl in an abandoned construction site? Why do I have to record a used condom next to a baby doll? How come nobody has pointed this out? Oh, I know why. It's because nobody has played this game, and nobody should. Near the very beginning of the game, Swan is recording 2 people, Dylan and the only confirmed character with a penis. After they notice her filming them without their consent, they rightfully get upset and start calling her out. And what does Swan do? What would any normal person in this situation do? She starts getting in their face and recording them even more.
You know what? Screw you! I really wasn't filming you before, but I will now. Say cheese.
Seriously? You're so annoying.
This begins one of the longest and most uncomfortable sections in any video game I've ever played. I'm going to play the entire section for you, and I want you to keep in mind that this was made by a group of adults, and I want you to consider who would enjoy watching this the most. Because trust me, it's not going to be you. unless you look like this guy.
Hey! Keep going, freak. You stop when I tell you to.
Tick-tock, Corey.
Just hold on. She's not done. That's a good girl.
I get the point is that it's supposed to be tense and uncomfortable, but then you ask yourself, why is this here? Does this forward the story? Is there really a point to this guy talking to an underage girl like this? And the answer is no, because it all amounts to nothing. And nobody really enjoys it except for weirdos who would get their kicks out of this. And that's the biggest problem I have for this game, is that its target audience has to be absolute weirdos, because any sane person is gonna stop playing after 20 minutes like I almost did. If I didn't see this Reddit post saying that the game had even more weird stuff, I probably never would have continued. But since I heard about it, I just had to see for myself, and yeah, this is strange. This is just not okay. Who thought that this was okay? Nobody should have thought this was okay, but they did. And who's playing this game? People who are going to heavily enjoy the photo mode, that's for sure. The best way I can describe this game is that it feels like you're pretending to be gay so that you can go to the girl's sleepover. It feels like this is what grown men think growing up as a teenage girl was like, because it doesn't feel authentic. Yeah, girls can talk sexual, obviously, but why is that one of the biggest focal points of the game? It doesn't move anything, it doesn't mean anything. It's just filler content, because that's all this game really is filler content. You just record things and then you watch things, and occasionally there is an awful puzzle, if you can even call them that. But why is there so much? It's distracting. I'm gonna play you another clip. The exact reason why I say this feels like you are spying on young girls at a sleepover. And just ask yourself, is this necessary? Why was this created?
Oh,
Yeah!
What?
nothing. I mean, I had one just like that.
I think it's pretty.
Yeah! Itty bitty titty go!
Who cares?
I'm positive that her mother bought her that thing.
Don't look. Gotta get it back on.
I peeked. Nora! Boundaries. Terrible.
I, had a lot of growing up to do.
It's just... it makes me feel icky to have even played this game, and it makes me feel icky to have seen these people defending it. It's like, did they not see it? Think sexual, and it's common homophobic.
I hate
rhetoric.
homophobic.
Swan is a socially
Everybody's
awkward
a
and most likely
homophobic.
neurodivergent kid. If you
And it
hate
doesn't
this,
mean
that
she
means you're
deserves to
homophobic,
be
unloved. This
Let
also
me
feels
watch young
ableist
girls
to say
be at a sleepover.
autistic people
Otherwise,
struggle
you're
with
homophobic.
social cues, and it doesn't mean
Just let
everyone
me
is as
watch the
judgmental
girls at a
as you.
sleepover. Come on, let me watch the girls at a sleepover.
Come on, it's just a
Otherwise,
sleepover with
you're
young teenage girls.
homophobic.
Rated M for
It's
mature.
not-
These people's favorite movies probably cuties. They're probably the people that defend it. Oh, you just don't understand the nuances. This underage girl had to twerk to get past that security guard. Yeah, who's benefiting most from that scene? It's the same sort of thing. These people who are defending it are just having to willingly ignore that the people who are going to love this game the most are the PDF files who are going to love this game.
I'd kiss you.
You'd kiss me? So would. She told me that too.
If your upbringing looked anything like this, where you had friends and they were all lesbians and all of them loved you, you didn't have a normal childhood. You probably grew up in Seattle. You can have your gay and lesbian love stories. Nobody's saying you can't. One of my favorite shows on Netflix actually was Heartstopper Season 1. We don't talk about Season 2. But that show, I feel like, has a way more accurate representation of what it's like to be gay and growing up. I don't know from experience, but I can tell you that that show certainly tugged at my heartstrings, and that this one made me feel like calling the police on the developers, because none of this felt realistic, none of it felt good, authentic, or anything. It's just strange voyeurism fantasies that, again, amount to nothing. There is no reason for these girls to be 16. If you're wondering how this game ends, so did I. I was basically half asleep when it was happening, but they have a big concert, and it turns out that this girl, I forget her name, has cancer. She has leukemia, and she collapses to the ground in honestly one of the funniest ways I've ever seen. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it's just the animation so awkward, and just this whole thing comes from nowhere, and the music is just, it feels like a meme. You may have noticed that not once did I mention that this game contains supernatural elements, and that's because it's about as important as anything else in this game. It's not. It's heavily marketed in the trailers though, that there would be some kind of big surprise and almost a fantasy element to the game, but no, there's almost none. There's one cutscene that I didn't even give a shit to record because it happens so fast, and once again, it's just so pointless. It's a void that supposedly gives you a gift in exchange for something, but who cares? I don't. The writers didn't care, and I don't either. This game is shit. It's creepy, boring, and absolutely pointless. They know damn well that kids are gonna play this despite the rating, and I hope that those kids can see through the strange grooming attempt, because that's what it feels like. This game was made for pervs who want to see young women talk inappropriately to each other and get young children to think that this kind of behavior is okay and normal. No, random Redditor, Swan does not deserve to be loved because she was written by some actual weirdo who thinks that all kids do is talk about making out and sharing bra sizes. If you think this game isn't weird, good job self-reporting. But for those of us who have functioning brain cells, thank you for watching all the way through. Be sure to watch Cat Cow Paw's video as well, because she sent me most of the footage that you've seen here, because I did not want to replay to get some of these sections.
Homophobic, more like hell yeah, I'm phobic to Groom and Rage, you just Groom and Rage. Hell yeah, I'm phobic to underage girls being used for a vessel for some 30-year-old to write fantasy about degeneracy. Fantasy about degeneracy. Groom and Rage, that's all the Redditors do, they just Groom and Rage, they just Groom and Rage.